Well, thank you, Mrs. Rajavi. During my 14 years in Congress, I've come to know the Iranian people's struggles through so many of their expatriates who have found refuge in America. Their passion for freedom is an inspiration for all who know them, and their commitment to liberating Iran is what brings all of us here today. Without these freedom fighters, both here, around the world, and most importantly within Iran, this growing, resolute, and determined resistance movement would not be possible. With this resolution, the elected representatives of the American people add their voices to the growing chorus for liberty and justice in Iran. Americans still celebrate our own struggle for liberation nearly 2.5 centuries ago, our own victory over tyranny and oppression, and we still recall that the stronger we stood, the more allies rallied to our cause from around the world. This is why we're standing today in a free land, and why Iranians will surely soon stand upon the free soil of their own country once again. There are more original co-sponsors on this resolution than we saw when a similar measure was introduced 2 years ago, showing the growing support of the American people for your cause. Our parties are divided on many issues, but not on this one. On this issue, we stand united with you. House Resolution 100 catalogs the long list of outrages, crimes, and injustices inflicted by Iran's dictatorship upon the Iranian people at home, and as well as their nuclear and terrorist threats to the peaceful global community abroad. Today, we see the women of Iran taking the lead against this Islamic fascist regime. We all know the story of Mahsa Amini, beaten to death by Iran's morality police. They too have had enough of being treated like property. They will take no more, nor will their sons and daughters. Mahsa was not the first martyr for Iranian liberation. We remember the 1988 massacre of over 30,000 political prisoners, and so many others who have fallen to the death committees of this regime for merely defending their own liberty and dignity. The guilt for these atrocities extends to the highest levels of this regime, and the guilty who cower behind their Islamic guard must and will be brought to justice. It is only a matter of time, and their time is running out. With this resolution, Congress is expressing the plain truth of the matter. In citing so many instances of human rights abuses and terrorism cloaked in diplomacy, the bipartisan House majority is telling the Iranian people and the world that it stands with the organized resistance and against the tyrannical rulers who have wrecked their country and plagued the Middle East with terrorism and brutality. The lamentable anniversary of the Iranian Revolution is upon us in 2 days. Let this be the last anniversary of this corrupt, backward, and illegitimate regime. Let the next anniversary be one of liberation, deliverance, and thanksgiving. An anniversary that will mark a new Iran, restoring its rightful place among the just, free, enlightened, prosperous, and happy nations of the world. The path toward a free, secular, democratic, and non-nuclear Iran is laid out in Miriam Rajavi's 10-point plan, which will ensure that the freedom of expression, the freedom of assembly, and the freedom for every Iranian to choose their elected leaders becomes the foundation upon which this new Iran is built. Here is what the representatives of the American people on this resolution have to say to the people of Iran and to the world. That the House of Representatives condemns past and present Iranian state-sponsored terrorist acts against United States citizens and officials, as well as Iranian dissidents, including the Iranian regime's terror plot against the Free Iran 2018 gathering in Paris. It calls on relevant United States government agencies to work with European allies, including those in the Balkans, where Iran has expanded its presence, to hold Iran accountable for breaching diplomatic privileges, and to call on nations to prevent the malign activities of the Iranian regime's diplomatic missions with the goal of closing them down and expelling their agents. Third, it stands with the people of Iran who are legitimately defending their rights for freedom against repression and condemns the brutal killing of Iranian protesters by Iran's regime. And finally, it recognizes the rights of the Iranian people and their struggle to establish a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Republic of Iran. Ladies and gentlemen, history stands with you, Providence stands with you, and freedom-loving people throughout the world stand with you. This is your moment. This is your time. Godspeed to you in your rendezvous with destiny. And now...